Hey data nets, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be showing you how to go from this data set to the data set based on what your stakeholders are asking for. So let's get into the video. As we can all see from our video, our data set isn't separated into columns like it's supposed to be. You can see the order ID, you can see customer name, product category, and etc. So let's fix this problem. We will start by highlighting our data and then heading over to the data tab. Then we're going to click on text to columns. Here we're just going to select delimited as it is, just leave it like that. Then go on next. So we're going to select comma because the frequently used delimited symbol is comma. So we're going to select comma and click on next. Now we're going to leave it at general as this is going to fix the dates, formatting, and every other thing. So here we're just going to clean up our data real quick to make it look clean. Now this particular stakeholder is curious to know what John Doe and Emily Brown's purchase history is, and we need to search it by their order ID. You can go ahead to manually copy and paste your order ID, or you can use a function. Here I'll be using the VLOOKUP function to return our order ID for Emily Brown. So we're going to follow the syntax right here. We're going to select your function. We need to look for the lookup value, which is Emily Brown. So I'm going to just select Emily Brown cell. Then I'm going to put my delimiter. Then select the table array, which is order ID and customer name. So I'm going to select that whole data, which is our table array. Then put my delimiter, otherwise known as comma, for our next syntax. So I'm going to count the column number, which is 1, then click on false. As you can see, it brought a function error, and let's just fix that. So in Excel, you cannot return a numeric data in the first column, so I'm going to switch it up. So I'm going to put customer name there and customer ID to be the second column. Now see what it returned. It returned Emily Brown instead of the other ID because I switched the column. Now let's fix this. I'm going to change the function to, I'm going to change the column index to 2 because that's where our other ID is. And let's see what happens after I fix that. So I'm just going to put 2 there. I'm click on enter. As you can see, it gave us another function error. So now let's see what the problem is. Let's click our function. Oh, we can see that it didn't even select our order ID. Now let's select it and click on enter. As you can see, our order ID for Emily Brown has been returned. So we're going to be using our XLOOKUP function to return our purchase history into that cell. I'm going to put in our XLOOKUP syntax, then our lookup value, which is the order ID. We're just going to select that. Then our lookup array, which is our order ID column. I'm just going to select that whole column. Then we need to select our return array, what we want to return into that cell. I'm just going to select that and click on enter. So you can choose to drag. Let's see if this is even correct. As you can see, John Doe 1st 10/2023, so our formula is correct. So let's drag this down. As you can see, there's an issue with that cell. So let's just fix that. We'll click on that, then click on update formula to include cells. Click on it, and that is done. And you have to do that so that whenever you're analyzing your data, you don't have issues. So remember how we used VLOOKUP to return our order ID? We'll be using XLOOKUP here. So we're just going to select the lookup value, our lookup array, then our return array. We're just going to select that. As you can see from syntax, we'll always follow your syntax, please, or arguments, anyone you want to call it. Then we'll select that, then click on OK. For this category, I'm going to be using the VLOOKUP function to return the purchase history of using the order ID. So we're just going to put in our function, select our lookup value, then select our table array, then put in our column index, which is 5, then false because we want to return the exact match, and click on OK. So you can choose to drag this formula or double click on it to actually fill in, and that's it. And that's the difference between VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP. As you can see, XLOOKUP is actually more simple than using VLOOKUP, which is kind of complicated. So let's head into the next video. In this section, we're going to be using the SUMIF and COUNTIF function. Now, our stakeholder is saying we should sum up the total revenue of each product category. So we're going to use the SUMIF function, and we're going to select our range, right? The range has to be from the product category to where the total revenue is. We're going to select that. Then the next thing we need to select is the criteria of what we want to calculate. We're going to select our criteria. Then next we're going to select the sum range. Then we're going to double click for it to fill up the remaining cells. Now let's check if our formula is correct. We're going to filter for electronics. As you can see, electronics is correct. Then next we're going to filter for clothing. Let's see. As you can see, clothing is not the same figure. Here we're seeing 180, but it's showing us 340 here. Alright, now let's select home decor. Home decor seems to be correct. Now let's fix the issue here. Let's see what's wrong. Let's select our clothing cell, and from now, as you can see, our highlighted cells escaped the second and third row. So let's now fix that quickly. The clothing section has now been corrected, but let's quickly run through the data set and see whether it has been corrected. Let's see. Yep, it has been corrected. Now we're going to be working with the COUNTIF function. Here our stakeholder has told us to count each of the order status. So we're going to start with delivered first. So we're going to put in our function, select the range, then select the criteria of what we want to count, which is delivered. Click on OK, and you can see our delivered is 6. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly do the same thing for pending and cancelled orders. So here I'm just going to check if what we counted is correct. So as you can see, our delivered is correct. Let's see, our cancelled is correct, pending correct. So see, it's always good cross-check your functions to know whether you have gotten the right thing, because Excel can play mind games on you. Let me just tell you now. So this is the difference between SUMIF, COUNTIF function. We've done XLOOKUP and VLOOKUP, and we also did flash fill, that's text to columns. So yeah, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your family, friends, so we can be up to date with my channel, right? Love you guys. Mwah. Bye, see you in the next video.